In a small coastal village on the southern shore of Java, there was one rule no one dared to break. Never wear green by the sea at sunset. To the villagers, it wasn't just superstition, it was a warning from Nai Rorokidal, the queen of the southern sea. That night, a tourist named Dara arrived from the city. She didn't believe in such tales. Wearing a green emerald dress, she stood by the waves, taking pictures of the dying sun. The wind began to howl, and the roar of the sea seemed to whisper her name, greater than, "Dara, come closer." She thought it was just the wind, until she saw a woman in a flowing green kabaya, walking gracefully on the waves. Her smile was soft, but her eyes glimmered like a raging tide. Greater than, "What a lovely dress," the woman whispered. "It's the same color as mine." Dara stepped back, but the sand beneath her feet started pulling her down. The waves grew taller, and from the foamy surf, pale hands reached out, grabbing her ankles. She screamed, but the ocean swallowed her voice whole. By morning, only her green dress was found, tangled among the rocks. No body, no footprints. Just the faint scent of jasmine lingering in the sea breeze. The villagers whispered that Dara had become one of Nai Rorokidal's brides. And on certain full moon nights, when the tides turn wild, you can still hear a woman laughing in the distance, wearing a green gown soaked in seawater and blood.
3 months after Dara vanished, the villagers tried to forget. The sea was calm again, the beach reopened, and tourists returned, though locals still avoided wearing green. One of them was Rama, a documentary filmmaker from Jakarta. He came after hearing the story of Dara, the girl taken by the sea. He wanted proof. He wanted to expose the myth of Nai Rorokidal. On the third night of filming, Rama set his camera facing the waves. The sky was clear, and the full moon hung low, casting silver light on the ocean. He switched on his recorder. "Locals believe the sea is ruled by a spirit queen," he said into the mic. "But tonight, we'll see what's real and what's just fear." Then the wind changed. The sea, once still, began to move as if breathing. The camera picked up a faint female voice singing, a Javanese lullaby, distant yet hauntingly clear. "Lot Tanam, Pengantin Datam." The sea is calm. The bride arrives. Rama turned, searching the shoreline. His flashlight flickered, then caught a glimpse of something. A figure in green, standing knee-deep in the surf, hair drifting like seaweed, face pale and expressionless. He froze. It was Dara, but her eyes were blank, milky white, and from her mouth flowed a trickle of seawater. Behind her, the ocean began to churn, forming the shape of a woman's silhouette rising from the waves. Nai Rorokidal herself, her face hidden beneath a veil of mist. "You took my bride," the queen's voice echoed. "Now you will take her place." Rama tried to run, but his camera fell, capturing only the roar of waves and his fading scream. The next morning, fishermen found the camera washed ashore. When they played the footage, the last frame showed a man in green, walking hand in hand with Dara, disappearing into the sea. 2 weeks after Rama disappeared, his camera surfaced in a fisherman's net. The villagers turned it over to the police, but no one dared to play it except Alia, a journalism student from Yogyakarta. She was working on her thesis about modern myths of Java, and the legend of Nai Rorokidal fascinated her. She took the camera home. The memory card was still intact. The first file was corrupted. The second began with static, and then Rama's voice. "Test recording, 10:42 p.m. The sea's calm." The footage trembled, then shifted. The screen flickered with a woman in green, her face partly obscured by mist. Behind her, faint chanting could be heard, dozens of voices whispering in unison. "Rorokidal Datam, Bawa Jiwa Pengantin." Rorokidal comes, bringing her bride's soul. Alia froze. The figure on screen turned and smiled directly at the camera. Suddenly, the lights in her room flickered, the temperature dropped, and on the screen, the image of Rama appeared, pale, drenched, and whispering something. "Delete it, before she sees you." Then the screen went black. The playback stopped. Alia, trembling, tried to eject the card, but the computer wouldn't respond. Her reflection in the monitor began to shift, her eyes glowing faintly green, and from her laptop speakers, a new voice spoke, gentle but cold. "Now you've watched it. You belong to me." Her body went still, eyes glazed like glass. The camera recorded her final moments, as seawater trickled from her mouth, soaking the floor. When her roommate found her, the laptop was open, replaying the same frame over and over, a green veil floating underwater. and a voice singing softly through the static. The sea is calm. Another bride has come home. A month after Alia's death, her laptop and files were confiscated by the police. But one of the officers, Inspector Dimas, secretly copied the memory card. He didn't believe in curses. He thought the footage could reveal who killed Alia. He uploaded the video to a private online forum of paranormal investigators. Within hours, dozens of users downloaded it. By morning, half of them had gone offline and never came back. The video began normally, static, waves, then Dara's face. But at the 5-minute mark, the screen distorted into green ripples, like something was moving inside the pixels. A voice whispered through the speakers, "The sea is calm. Come home, my children." Those who watched reported the same nightmare, standing barefoot on a dark beach, hearing the ocean call their name. Some woke up drenched in salt water, others never woke up at all. Inspector Dimas began seeing things too. His bathroom mirror fogged up with seawater. At night, his phone glowed green, showing a reflection that wasn't his. He deleted the file, reformatted the drive, but the video kept reappearing on his TV, his phone, even the reflection of his window. One night, he woke to the sound of waves crashing inside his apartment. His floor was covered in water, and in the middle of it stood a woman in a dripping green kabaya, smiling through her veil. "Thank you for spreading my song," she said. "Now the sea will remember your name." The next morning, his apartment was empty. Only his phone remained, still recording. The last image showed a green veil drifting across the lens, followed by the sound of distant laughter and the echo of waves. That night, the cursed footage mysteriously uploaded itself to social media. Within 24 hours, it had over 1.3 million views. Comments flooded in from users around the world. Did anyone else hear someone whisper their name? Why does my screen smell like the ocean? Help, I can't stop hearing her voice. The video spread across the internet like wildfire. Clips of it were reposted, remixed, and analyzed, but no matter who uploaded it, the same thing always happened. The green tint, the ocean's whisper, and a faint figure reflected in the screen. By the second week, strange cases were reported worldwide. Viewers claimed to see wet footprints appear in their homes. Phones rang at midnight, playing a faint lullaby, and every victim who vanished left behind the same trace. A puddle of seawater that smelled like jasmine. Paranormal experts gathered to investigate, led by Dr. Intan Wirasari, a folklore researcher from Indonesia. She recognized the pattern. "It's not a ghost," she told them. "It's an ancient calling. Nyai Roro Kidul doesn't travel through land. She travels through memory." Using an encrypted server, her team tried to contain the file. They isolated every copy they found, sealing them inside a digital firewall called the Salt Gate. But during the upload, one of her assistants, Riza, began hearing the whisper through his headphones. He turned pale. "She's here. She's inside the data," he gasped. Before anyone could react, the screens around them started filling with boiling water and static. Out of the distortion, a face emerged, half human, half wave. Nyai Roro Kidul smiled. "You thought you could trap the sea." The power cut out. When it returned, the lab was empty, computers soaked, the floor covered in sand. Only Dr. Intan's voice remained, recorded in the system logs. "The veil is broken. She's using our technology as her ocean. Every device connected to the net is now her shore." By now, the world was drowning, not in water, but in her presence. Every screen, every signal, every reflection had become a door to the southern sea. The live stream of the moonlit ocean kept playing on every device, its view count climbing into the billions, though no one knew who or what was watching anymore. Only a handful of survivors remained offline, hiding deep in an abandoned radio bunker in Yogyakarta. Among them was Dr. Intan Wirasari, the last one who truly understood what was happening. "She's not a spirit anymore," Intan whispered to the group. "She's data." A wave of memory flooding the world. They had one final plan, a digital ritual meant to sever the connection between the sea and the net. They called it the Black Surf Protocol. It required them to broadcast a counter-frequency, a pulse that could erase every trace of the cursed code. At midnight, they powered up the transmitter. The speakers screamed, static filling the air. The bunker shook as if the ocean itself had found them. Through the crackling noise, a voice began to form. "You can't silence the tide." Then the walls started leaking, salt water pouring from the concrete. Screens flickered, showing the queen's face, smiling behind her green veil. "I gave you a world of beauty," she said softly, "and you gave me your fear. Fear is the deepest current. It always pulls you home." One by one, the survivors were pulled into the screens. their reflections dissolving into waves. Intan was the last. Before the water reached her, she hit send. The counter frequency launched. The live stream cut to black. The voices stopped. The sea fell silent. For the first time in months, the world was quiet. No signals, no whispers, just calm. But on one forgotten server, buried deep under terabytes of corrupted data, a faint hum began to rise again. A ripple of green light spread across the code, and a whisper echoed through the void. The sea is calm. Another world awaits. Then the screen went dark, and the ocean sighed, as if it had claimed everything it ever wanted.